All right, 7th grade. So we're continuing learning about the measures of central tendency. We've already learned about the mean, which is the average. We learned about the median, which was the middle. And now we're going to talk about the mode, and then we're going to talk about a couple other things as well. So the mode, which is a final measure of central tendency, it tells you what data item appears the most. That is what the mode is. We're also going to talk about range today. Range is just the largest data item minus the smallest data item. And basically it tells you, that's where the word range comes from, the range of the data. You know, how wide or how narrow the data might be. And then finally we're talking about an outlier. An outlier is a number that doesn't fit. It's either too large or too small for the rest of the data. Imagine I gave a test and every single one of you failed it. You did terrible. You all got 40% in that range. But then one person got a 99%. That person's the outlier because they did way better than the rest. All the other tests were in the 40s, then you had the one in the 90s. Could go the other way. Everybody does great, gets in the 90s, but one person gets a 25%. Well, that person's the outlier because they're way lower. So that's what an outlier is. All right, so we got some numbers here. We got some data, and we're asked to find the mode, range, and outlier. So we're going to start with the mode. The mode, so we're just looking, and we're trying to find the number that appears the most. I can see I got two 39s. I don't have any other number that repeats, so 39 is the mode. It is possible to have more than one mode. If say we had two 39s, and we also had two 76s, then the mode would be 39 and 76. It's also possible to have no mode. Say this 39 was 34. All of a sudden now no numbers repeat at all. Your answer, you literally would write no mode. So you could have more than one mode. You also can have no mode. All right, let's talk about range. Range, we just need to find the largest data item and the smallest data item and subtract the two. I can see here my smallest data item is 25. My largest is 165, so I'm just going to do 165 minus 25. I do that, I get 140. So the range is 140. Then finally, I'm going to look for an outlier. There won't always be an outlier. But in this case, I can clearly see a number that doesn't fit with the rest. I look, everything's kind of 44, 39, 39. Well, this one's all the way up at 76, but 38, 39, 25. They're all relatively close, but that 165 is way larger than the rest of those numbers. So 165 is definitely an outlier. All right, let's do the same thing with our second set of data here. So we're going to start with the mode. We're looking for the number that appears the most. 42, 61, 95, 79, 9, 50, 95. All right, so I got two 95s, 63, 109, 42. I can see I've also got two 42s. I have two 42s and two 95s, so my mode is going to be 42 and 95. In this case, I ended up with two modes. So my range is the largest data item minus the smallest one. The largest is 109. The smallest is 9. So 109 minus 9 is just 100. So my range is 100. And finally, outlier. So I want to look at this data. So I can see my smallest number is 9. My largest is 109. But then everything else kind of ranges from that 42, 61, 79, 95, all in that 40 to 109 range. This 9, I would say, is the outlier because that's definitely further away from most of the data. So 9 would be an outlier in this case. All right, so that's talking about mode, range, and outlier. Again, mode is the number that appears the most. The range is the largest data item minus the smallest data item. And the outlier is just a number that's way too big or way too small for the data. All right, you've got some practice problems to do. Do those. Check them with the answer key. And then you've got a quiz in Google Classroom. Thank you.